Hi traders, good morning. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency. If you're interested in joining our ECS Live channel, take a look at this link. We are sending there our live webinars, our live analysis, and our live trading ideas. And here you can see some of the stats that are connected to that. So hope to see you in that channel very soon. All right, so this is the euro dollar 4-hour chart, and price is making a triangle pattern here indicating consolidation, and price is just respecting these moving averages and going sideways after a strong momentum up. So that could be a continuation triangle, and if it does break above this fractal here in this zone around 112.25, there could be a breakout. 112.50 could be in a more important level perhaps, and there could be a continuation up to the minus 272 target, maybe even further up to minus 61.8 target. And as soon as I see a good breakout candle, the 4-hour chart, and maybe a flag on the 50-minute chart, then there is a decent chance of a follow-through up to these targets here at anywhere between 113 and 114 for the moment. However, if it breaks below the 21 EMA, then I think there could be a bearish retracement, and this could be basically a triangle for downside. Here's momentum as well. So then I think price could go down to the 61.8 Fibonacci golden ratio at 111.11, apparently. A lot of ones there. And that could be a bullish bounce again and a reversal zone for an upside. Why? Because I think that for the moment, this is strong momentum. Considering the correction here, it is more looking like an A and this a B and a C at the minimum. An ABC correction I would expect. And I think that wave B could go to the 61.8 fib because of a potential head and shoulders level here, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Now, it could be a different fib, don't get me wrong. It could be a 50, it could be a 78. It just that seems like the ideal level for the moment to me. So I would attach more weight to the 61.8 for the moment. Looking at the higher time frames, let's zoom out, take a look at the daily. Now you can see why I would be careful as price gets up into 114, because that's already a strong resistance zone. And well, as you know, price has been ranging a lot, and that's getting closer to the top of that range. And of course, it has potential space even to 115, I guess. But for the moment, 115 is really a level to be careful of. If it breaks above that, then it could go up to 115 and retest even higher fib levels. Let's take a look at the price action, though. On this time frame, you see 3 bullish candles in a row, followed by 3 bearish candles and then a bullish candle. That's one of the reasons why I think downside for the moment is still more likely. A lot of wicks here. And although price is not moving lower, I think these wicks are really showing that it's, having a lot of hesitation with moving up. So I would still prefer a downside and then look for a bounce. Very strong support zone here at 111 as well, by the way. Weekly chart, bullish candles, a little bit of a wick there. And the 61.8 fib would be quite deep because that would be retesting the previous low, but not breaking it. So that could fit. But one reason why the 50 fib or the 38 could be bouncing spots too, by the way, when looking at that. But anyhow, bullish candle, and so far upside pressure. And looking at the weekly, well, that of course, sorry, the monthly, that depends on how this month will finish. That's still very long from now. But if it does close anywhere up in here, that would be a strong bullish candlestick pattern for upside. But that is, still a lot along, a lot of way, far into the future, let me say it this way. So back to this weekly and daily chart, I think that any of these fibs could be bouncing spots. For the moment, I prefer the 61.8, but that's one of the reasons why I don't like to trade to the downside. I would rather wait for the price to move lower and then look for a bounce basically at these fib levels for a continuation higher within this choppy range on the euro dollar. Okay, so let's move on to the pound dollar, and that indeed moved lower as forecasted, as expected, as traded as well through ECS Live. I sent my setup on this pound dollar, one of them at least. I was looking for 2, but only managed to catch 1, and got about, I believe, 90 pips on that as this price broke lower. Now, why did it do that? So momentum, correction, and continuation. And with SWAT, it became so much easier to view. Look at that. Very simple. Got the retracement here with the gray candles, and then got red candles as a continuation here and here. I traded this on the 1-hour chart, personally. I used the other filters that said the 1 hour was a little bit better than the 4-hour chart. But anyhow, still, you can see the red candles here on the 4-hour and the SWAT candles on the hourly chart. And nice continuation down to the target at 120.50. Now price went even further than that. It went down to 112.2014. So now it hit that psychological round level, and I'm not sure what it's going to do at this moment. It could bounce. We had a swing trade here. We had a swing trade here. At this moment, the 1 hour chart is in full swing. 4 hour, 1 hour, both actually. So need pullbacks before I could trade it to the downside. But I don't even know at this moment if I want to trade it, considering the fact that it's right at 120. It's a little bit of an indecision zone, and there could be some bounce at that level. That said, last week's weekly candle was again bearish, and that's 3 in a row again, and closed extremely close to the low. Last month was certainly very bearish as well, so I think that the price action is indicating downside. Daily candle too, by the way. But because it's at 120, might be a little bit of a retracement spot. So let's take a look what kind of retracement might make sense. Let's see. On a 4 hour chart, maybe it can go to the previous bottom, for instance, in the 21 EMA zone. On the hourly chart, let's take a look. Yeah, it could be the same story. It could go back maybe into this zone like that. Difficult to say. At this moment, there is a little bit of a bounce up. If that bounce up continues up into 120.75, maybe 121, I would assume that that could be a bouncing spot, and that could be a level where the bearers and the sellers really take over again. But it's difficult to say at this moment. It depends on what kind of bounce, what kind of reaction will be visible at 120. I wouldn't want to trade to the upside. I wouldn't want to trade to the downside at this moment either. I would really want to see a correction finish and then continue with selling and continue with trading to the downside on this pound dollar for the moment. It could break below 120 for that matter. This is a strong trend. That things change, of course, if price were to break above this 144 EMA. In that case, the downtrend might be changing, and there could be a bigger range taking place, or maybe even a bigger retracement. We'll have to see. But as long as price stays below that, I think a downtrend is likely to continue around 121, 120.75, and it could retest 120. It could go down to 119.75. It can go down to 119.50 and start breaking that round level as well. That's possible, or maybe go sideways around that level for the moment. All right, so I hit 120.14, which means it could still tag 120 as well, by the way, and that could still be a bouncing spot. So waiting for retracement and checking out how price will respond to this resistance zone. That's my next step on this pound dollar. All right, that's it for now. Check out ECS Live once again for more updates on a regular basis. Wish you all great trading and talk to you soon. Cheers.